Palkia is making its way into raid battles on January 4th all the way until the 16th, from 10 until 10 a.m. on both of these days. So we have 2 weeks pretty much to be able to grind out this Pokemon if we do want it. So in this video, we're gonna go over some of the counters, but most importantly, is it gonna be worth grinding for Palkia in Pokemon Go? So let's get into the details. Welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. During Palkia's time in Pokemon Go on January 8th and January 15th, which actually turns out to be my birthday, we will see Palkia in raid hours. So if you guys do want to go out there and grind for Palkia in Pokemon Go, this would be a time. And obviously the shiny is out. This Pokemon is going to be a dragon and a water type Pokemon. Let's get into some of the counters and then we're going to jump into, is this Pokemon worth grinding for, and what my perspective is on this Pokemon. Because obviously we do have the origin form out, which is slightly more powerful than this Pokemon, but we'll see how much more powerful, and then how does this regular Palkia feed into that origin form. So this Pokemon is going to be a water and a dragon type Pokemon. It maxes out at 4,512 with an attack of 280, a defense of 215, and a stamina of 189. With this Pokemon being dragon and water, it is not going to share a lot of the common double weaknesses that dragons that have the flying type dual combination of the double weak to ice. Well, in fact, this Pokemon isn't even weak to ice because water is a resistor of ice and dragon is weak to ice, so it is actually neutral, which makes this Pokemon only weak to dragon and fairy typings. This one is going to be single resistant to steel and double resistant to fire as well as water. So it doesn't have a myriad of bunch of resistances, but it is a relatively powerful Pokemon, a relatively neutrally hit Pokemon, and it can deliver a lot of damage here. Its movesets are going to be Dragon Breath and Dragon Tail, and then it gets Aqua Tail, Fire Blast. It is also going to get Draco Meteor and Hydro Pump. So this Pokemon does not get a water fast move, just for you guys' awareness. Okay, so what are we going to do with this Pokemon as far as attacking against it? Well, number one, if you're going to use a Mega Pokemon against this Pokemon, you can use a Mega Rayquaza. And while this Pokemon does have dragon moves that can hit that Mega Rayquaza, the positive thing is that Mega Rayquaza is extremely strong against other dragon Pokemon because dragon is weak to dragon. And some of the other dragon Pokemon that you could use to get Extra XL candy from the Palkia is going to be Ampharos, Sceptile, Altaria, Salamence, Latios and Latias, Rayquaza, and Garchomp. And then from a water perspective, we're going to look at the Blastoise, the Slowbro, the Gyarados, the Swampert, and the Kyogre. And then as far as the 100% IVs, it's going to be 2280 at level 20. And then from a weather boosting condition, it is going to be in either windy weather or rainy weather at 2850 at level 25. So for me personally, I do not have the 100% IV of the Palkia. Just as a reminder, guys, this season in Pokemon Go, we are getting 2 free raid passes each and every day. So while whatever I present here, you may be like, well, I don't really want to grind for it. That's totally cool, but I would suggest that you guys make sure to do your 2 raids every day that you can get for free for Palkia. It's a relatively strong Pokemon, and whether you choose to use the regular Palkia or the origin form, both candies are synchronistic. So whatever candy you do get from this Palkia can be used on the origin form, which makes it extremely valuable in the game, regardless of if you use this regular origin form or not. And the top counters are going to be Mega Rayquaza at number 1 with Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe. Then we have the Mega Garchomp, and followed by the Mega Salamence, both with Outrage on that Pokemon. Then we're going to have the Mega Gardevoir. The reason why I don't suggest Mega Gardevoir is because it does not share the Dragon typing, which means it will not be getting you boosted XL candy when catching. Obviously for these Megas, the optimal place is whatever Dragon Mega you have at Mega level 3 is what you use. If you have the Rayquaza, great, but if you don't, any of these other ones, including the Garchomp, as well as the Salamence, and the Latios, the Latias, the Sceptile, the Altaria, and the Mega Charizard X as well will work. The only problem with the Mega Charizard X is you don't want to fight with it because it is going to be a fire and dragon combination, and the water of this Pokemon will hit it really hard, and then also it will get hit really hard from the dragon moves as well. So this Pokemon, Mega Charizard X, is going to get demolished by this Palkia. In spot number 5, we were going to have the Spatial Rend on the origin form Palkia, followed by the Roar of Time on origin form Dialga. And let's not forget about our budget counters. You can use the Shadow versions or not of the Salamence with Outrage, of the Dragonite with Outrage. Just as a reminder, the Dragonite is going to be a TMable move on that Pokemon, and the Salamence will not. You will actually have to use an Elite TM to get that Outrage if you don't already have it. So if you have to choose between the two, there's what your choice will be. And then obviously we have the regular Garchomp as well. Okay, so now let's jump into the, do we use this Pokemon? What's the function of it? As I just mentioned, guys, we did talk about how Palkia shares the same XL candy and regular candy for the regular version and the origin form, which makes this Pokemon inherently inherently valuable just as is, regardless of is it a strong attacker or not, because the origin form Palkia is a strong attacker and is very relevant in both PvP as well as an attacker standpoint. So let's see where this Pokemon does sit against itself. So the Palkia in the origin form with Dragon Tail and Spatial Rend is a 49.19, and the Palkia with the Dragon Tail and Draco Meteor is going to be 42.78. So then let's check it out in the Dragon category and see where each sits. So at the top we do have the Mega Rayquaza with Outrage at 59.89, followed by the Mega Garchomp at 55.41, followed by the Eternamax, which is not out yet, followed by the Mega Salamence at 50.79. Then we have the Black Kyurem, the Shadow Salamence at 49.28, the origin form Palkia actually in the 7th spot overall at 49.19, which is extremely high for a non-Shadow, non-Mega Pokemon right there. And then we're going to get the Shadow Garchomp at 48.96, followed by the Mega Latios and Shadow Dragonite. Then if we go on to page 2, you will be able to see the Palkia that is going to be behind the Shadow Latios, the regular Rayquaza at 42.78, and the Salamence, Garchomp, and Zekrom are going to be close to that Palkia. So from this regular Palkia standpoint, I'm going to suggest that obviously the origin form is much stronger. Do we take this Pokemon and use it? I mean, yes, you can do that. However, at the same time, guys, I really suggest that you invest in the origin form Palkia. Maybe you don't have a good one yet, trade for it. Even if it's not the shiny, guys, you can still trade for this Pokemon without the shiny, but it has to have Spatial Rend to make it this impactful. And since the regular Palkia is pretty close to the regular Garchomp, which is a budget counter, investing in regular Palkia doesn't make too much sense for me. But maybe in PvP it would change it up. But before we do so, let's check it out in the water category. So at the top we have the Primal Kyogre at 58.19, and then at the bottom of the first page in 42.48 we have the origin form Palkia, which is actually below the regular Kyogre. And then on the second page in the 12th spot overall we have the Palkia with the Hydro Pump at 41.33, which is not too far above the regular Samurott at 38.09, the Greninja at 37.57, and the Empoleon at 37.36. So still in the water category, obviously this Pokemon has some work to do, but it is still pretty powerful as a secondary move. Remember, this Pokemon does not get a water fast move, so all you have to do is have a secondary water move, and you can use this Pokemon as a water attacker. But obviously do not TM away the origin form Palkia's Spatial Rend. That move is too impactful for that Pokemon, and then you cannot get it back. So please do not do that. So as far as PvP, in either of the Greats or the Ultra League, this Pokemon is not relevant, but at spot number 2, we have the Palkia in the origin form in the Master League with Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Spatial Rend, which it must have. This is going to be below the Zygarde in the complete form, which is at number 1 spot. Then if we go to the second page, we're going to see the Kyurem at number 9, and then we have the Palkia at number 12 with Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Draco Meteor. But at overall in the Dragon category for the Master League, number 1 is Zygarde complete form, number 2 is origin form Palkia, number 9 is Kyurem, number 12 is Palkia, number 14 is the Giratina altered form, and down the list there. So if we are looking at this Pokemon, guys, obviously the origin form still makes its way as the top. It has the Spatial Rend move, it gets the same other movesets as does the regular Palkia. So overall, guys, I would say raid for this Pokemon. Even if you do get the 100% IV, I will power it up because I have a ton of XL candy, but you do not have to power this Pokemon up. But most importantly, this Pokemon does give you that XL candy. So there's the counters, where this Pokemon sits, and what you do with this Pokemon. If you are scarce on Palkia XL candy, do not invest in this Pokemon. Wait until you have a good origin form, or if you do have a good origin form and it fits into your Master League team, or you want to use it as a meta attacker, you can do so. But just as a reminder, from a Dragon attacker standpoint, there are stronger options that we have already covered. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love and appreciate you guys. I will see you guys out on the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.